So, as some of you who've been around my channel for a while probably know, I've been pretty vocal in the past about my dislike for Dark Souls 2, and is the reason you won't find any content for 2 on my channel. Now, I was never one of those Dark Souls 2 isn't canon kind of people. I respected it enough to not discredit it completely. It really was just 3 things that got under my skin that I'll go over. First off, admittedly, I was just a bit of a Dark Souls 1 and I guess 3 fanboy, and 2 didn't continue the story from 1 in the manner that 3 did, and initially was what drew me away from it. Second, the art style seemed to drift away a little bit from the original design into something a bit more cartoony to me. I've often compared it to the same graphical difference that appeared in Call of Duty Modern Warfare and then in Modern Warfare 2, just seemed to get more bright and colorful. And finally, the controls pushed me away. Turning in the game seemed to feel like each direction was being snapped to its appropriate axis, and was overall just kind of clunky, which I did learn was just a PC thing and it feels fine on console. But I did find a cool video by Mitch L who found a way to make the controller on PC feel much better, so I'll drop that link in the description for anyone who knows what I'm talking about. But this video isn't about the things I disliked about Dark Souls 2 that kept me from caring about it, no. It's about me apologizing to the game for being wrong. After spending the last few months working on Project Dark Souls, I was spending more time with Dark Souls 2 than I ever had before, because I wanted it to be a part of the project, regardless of if I liked it or not, because of how many people it was special for. So, leaving it out was not an option. And I'll tell you, by the time I had finished recording all the footage I needed from it, I was a changed man. Let me tell you how. This is the easiest of explanations. Essentially, I just got the fuck over it. They wanted to approach it slightly different, that's fine. In fact, the issue I had from it with the start was probably just me being salty anyways. As I said, once I fixed the issue, all was good, but it did take me longer to find a fix than I'd like to admit, but being a predominantly PC player, it was also a while before I even attempted to play it on console and see that the controls were fine there. So yeah, probably a little bit of salt went into this issue as well, but clunky controls do make any game feel bleh, especially a games you're being a salty bitch about. This was the biggest one. Obviously, lore is my passion, and my favorite part of the Souls games. Most games, really. Initially, I was boosted that it wasn't a sequel, so to speak, that it was in some unknown continent away from all the familiarity of the game that started it all. But, as I spent more and more time with the game, I learned how much I enjoyed this aspect. How much I even found it important to the franchise. To have us playing in some faraway, unknown kingdom we learned nothing of in 1. To see the curse pop up here and how the people here meant to deal with it. To see just how far and wide the consequences of Gwyn's actions actually spread. I finally realized the importance and magnitude of that perspective of it, and I think it's pretty damn cool. Well, cool in a super depressing, the world is falling apart and everyone is a hopeless zombie kind of way. Dark Souls 2 added a lot more than I originally realized to the franchise and to the story. Jumping from kingdom to kingdom, seeing the ruin and despair, from Lordran to Drangleic to Lothric. I now believe that they're all equally important, and sure, 2 doesn't reference many things to Lordran directly, but it's because it's become either a lost memory or so far away, or both. Having Drangleic not really know much about Lordran makes the reaction to the undead curse more authentic and real, not just going copy-pasta of what they did in Lordran. It took me a while to finally come to this perspective that many of the people who enjoy 2 have, but I'm finally here, folks. I mean, also, they got freaking elephant people. Come on, man. That's dope. And finally, Dark Souls 2. I'm sorry it took me so long to come around. So, what does that mean exactly? Will I do Dark Souls 2 lore videos now? I'm not entirely sure. I'd love to find ideas to work with within the content of 2, but for the same reason I haven't done many 1 lore videos and no Bloodborne videos is because I don't want to rehash content that's already been done. So, while I spend more time with Dark Souls 2 and I find something I believe is worth mentioning even now, then we'll see. But, no promises. Also, if you've been enjoying this kick-ass song throughout the video, it's inspired by the Majula theme and was done by a buddy of mine, Mark Straight. I'll drop a link to the song on Spotify if you want to listen some more or add it to a playlist. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Peace, I'm out!